Welcome to Kaleb Knows Sports. Today we'll be talking about Final Four and NFL pre-draft. What's first question?
Has this year's NCAA tournament been disappointing or downright good?
Disappointing because it needs more upsets and it's too predictable. Because I want to see the number 1 seed and number 6 seed go against each other instead of the number 1 seed and number 1 seed going against each other. Because I feel like the number 1 seed and number 6 team is more exciting than just number 1 team and number 1 team.
I'm going to totally disagree with you. I heard people echoing your sentiment, but I just don't understand it. Why wouldn't you want to watch the best versus the best? That's what a tournament is all about. It's about putting each other, the teams against each other, and figuring out who the best. And if you ask me, this is how tournaments are supposed to go. Of course, you can have some upsets, but usually, if all power to the people who seeded it, if they seeded the tournament right, then the top seeds more times than not should be in the final. So I don't really get the big deal from everybody acting like they want to see these upsets because they don't follow these schools prior to them upsetting or stick with them or become a lifer. So I think it's been downright good. I think we've been able to see some players who are going to play at the next level, and we've been seeing some outstanding coaching throughout this tournament. So I think it's been downright good. What's next?
Is the Detroit Pistons' old school bad boy style of play good or bad for the NBA?
I think the Detroit Pistons style of play, the bad boy style of play I think it's good. I think it's good for the NBA. I think it brings excitement to the league that it has lacking excitement during the regular season. And then, we're hitting a point in society where it's just like all to just be nice and, hey, let's make sure this and that. People are getting tired of that. They want to get back to what's real. Yeah, I'm mad. I'm playing against you. Yeah, I want to win. And the Detroit Pistons are playing just like the old bad boys Pistons. And who doesn't want to see somebody who wants to win and who's willing to, mix it up to get the win? So I think it's good for the NBA.
I also think it's good for the same reason that you have because I watch a little bit of boxing, and I like to see if NBA players can really fight. That is because we don't know if they can fight or not because they usually don't fight. So that's why it makes the...
You want to know if they can get down.
Yeah. That's why I think that is good. It's good. What's next?
What are your playoff expectations for the Los Angeles Lakers?
Second round exit, because I think they can beat the first rounder, and then they can move on to a tougher team. And then once they move on to that tougher team, that some of the younger players is gonna get under pressure in the playoffs because both of the teams' fans are there, so they will be what's it called, booing everything back and forth, and it might put the rookies just under pressure. That's why I think they'll go out in a second round exit.
I don't know what's going on today, but me and you are finding a lot of common ground. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing and agree with you. I think they are good enough to win the first round series. Yeah, I think they're good enough to win the first round series. They may end up in the 3 or 4 seed. If they get Golden State, though, they're going to be in trouble. But if they can dodge Golden State, I think they can possibly win versus Minnesota, Memphis, or any of those teams in along that realm that will be floating from 5 to 8. So I actually do think they can win the first round series. But after that, yeah, I'm gonna go with you, and I think they're gonna see their second round exit. They've been playing better than I have anticipated, especially with AR playing the way he has been. But I don't know if he can keep that up consistently. But I got him on a second round exit. Where do you have him, fans? I don't know. Let us know. But don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with more Kaleb Knows Sports.
Welcome back to Kaleb Knows Sports. What's next?
Will Aaron Rodgers play next year?
No, he's just too old. He's 41, and he needs to retire because the oldest player that we've seen retire so far is Tom Brady at 40.
That's not true. We just looked up a list earlier where somebody was kicking and playing quarterback till 48, right?
I was talking about recent. I was talking about recent. The recent person we've seen that the oldest was Tom Brady on the Buccaneers, and I don't think that he could go through 41 because he had a bad season this year with all his reuniting with Devontae Adams, which I thought would be good for him because he has experience with Devontae Adams already. But nope, it was just horrible. That's why I think no, he's just too old and he will not be playing next year. What's next?
What's next is me. Calm down. I just think I understand everything that comes with the circus sometimes that comes with Aaron Rodgers. And I wouldn't necessarily say he had a bad year last year. He had, I guess, bad if you put it in Aaron Rodgers terms, but he didn't have too bad of a season. It was an okay season. I think he's painted himself into a corner with how he doesn't interact with his teammates on OTAs, or he's really not a team guy. You know what I mean? But when you have a talent like that, there are programs and teams where if you have an opportunity for Aaron Rodgers, because he's not going to break the bank. If you have an opportunity to get Aaron Rodgers, you just have to. And I can't see this season shaking out and going through all the OTAs and camp and everything, and him not being a starting quarterback. So, I think Aaron Rodgers will be a quarterback in the NFL next season.
Will the Commanders receivers Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuels both be all-pro receivers next season?
You know what? I had to think long, hard about this question. And Terry, already know what you're going to get with Terry. Every year, it doesn't even matter a quarterback. He finally got some sustainability at the quarterback position. So we've seen what he can do with Jaden Daniels in that rookie year, and I can only expect them to improve upon that relationship and with those stats. And yeah, I think Debo's got a chip on his shoulder. I think Dan Campbell is going to use him in a way where we're back to seeing him in the backfield, off reverses, and that he doesn't have to worry about going downfield. They had the injury to Brandon Ayuk with the 49ers, so he had to play a different position. He was trying to be the number one receiver. Now that he's back to being the number 2 wide receiver, I think he can be a number 1 threat within the NFL. So I think both Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuels will be on the all-pro NFL teams.
I don't agree with you because Deebo Samuels was not top 50 in receiving yards this year, and he's usually in the top 50 or in the top 30s at least. But this year he had a couple hundred receiving yards, while the others had a 1,000, and I thought that he would do good last season, but nope, didn't do good at all. So that's why I think no, he won't. Yeah, he won't go all pro. What's next?
Will Ohio State's Will Howard ever be a starting NFL quarterback?
Maybe, because he had 36 touchdowns and only 10 interceptions in his college career.
You mean his last season?
In his last season. And there was a lot of good quarters this year, and he only had 10 interceptions, which means he was actually looking around for somebody he could actually throw to that was open, and he was actually thinking and had his whole mind on just the field and his receivers and the game. That's why I think maybe he might start.
What a chicken way to answer the question, maybe. Answer the question. It's yes or no. What a chicken way. He chickened his way out, y'all. I'm going to go with no. But as a caveat, I'm going to have to be honest. Me and you were having a conversation last year, and I were talking about when they take these certain guys as rookies and want to make them into these starting quarterbacks. And the example that I used was maybe week 5 was Bo Nix and how it wasn't working. And Bo Nix proved me wrong. Bo Nix went out there. Of course, they had a good defense, but it wasn't just them relying on the defense. Bo Nix played some good football. All that being said, I'm not sure Will Howard is Bo Nix. Will Howard does have experience like Bo Nix, but Bo Nix comes from that program at Auburn. His dad was there, and he played a lot of college football, as did Will Howard. But I think maybe Bo Nix played more meaningful college football for longer with the only one season that Will Howard spent within the Big Ten. So, no, I can see him coming in sparingly and actually being maybe a pretty good backup. But, nah, I don't see Will Howard being a starting NFL quarterback. Nah, no way. What's next?
Tops. Which players have the top spot to be chosen for the college football 26 game cover?
We're going to go back and forth about this because you stole my pick, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm glad I'm going first. You know what? I'm going to let you have the pick that you stole from me, and I'm only going to go with one player, and I think they're going to switch it up this year and go to the national championships, but on the defensive side of the ball, and I think it would be really cool if one of the players on the cover is Kaleb Love, the safety. The safety. Is that his name? Kaleb Love? No. I'm thinking of the kid in Arizona. I'm so sorry. Basketball player. Kaleb Downs. Kaleb Downs, the kid that transferred from Alabama. Now he's at Ohio State. Terrific year at Ohio State. Terrific. You don't see many college players do what he did, just playing all sides of the field. You can see the NFL All-Pro all over him. So I'm going to go with Kaleb Downs.
I'm going with 2 players. One of them is Jeremiah Smith because he had a great season this year. And I think they're going to go back in time and go with Eric Dickerson as the 2 cover athletes because I think they can make a change. You can play all-time teams and current teams against each other. Because I would like to play all-time teams because I would like to play with, what's his name? I'm trying to think. Eric Dickerson, Barry Sanders. I'm trying to play with Barry Sanders and Eric Dickerson because those are my 2 favorite running backs of ever, and that's who I think is going to be on the cover athlete.
You know what? That was a nice one because I got the burnt orange on, so I should have went on ahead and said Arch. I thought you was going to say that, but I can see Arch and Kaleb Love on there. Go ahead and close this out. That was a good one. You tricky little dude.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Kaleb Knows Sports. See you next time.
Yeah.